One of the big issues is that as countries around the world get a better handle on the outbreak, it means it's going to take longer to test these vaccines. Do you see human challenge trials coming into the mix? For our viewers, this is when the vaccine participants, those participating in the trial, get directly infected with the vaccine to basically test the vaccine's efficacy in a more expedited way.
Well, I think from a regulator's perspective, there are safety issues with that, but I would say that everything is on the table. But I think one of the things that we're concerned about is this stuff has all been done at breakneck speed, and the data so far are encouraging. But until you have those phase 3 data, we don't know if we've got a vaccine or how good it is. And I think that we need to see those data, which, those studies will have to run for at least 6 months. I don't think we're going to see any of those data till Q1 next year at the earliest.
What does that mean for vaccine availability if we're not going to get that data until Q1 next year?
Well, that's the challenge with manufacturing, because with so many platforms being done, it's a bit like the difference between making, I don't know, fairy cakes and a loaf of bread. They're all done by, not cakes obviously, but they're all done biologically, but they're slightly different platforms. So the kind of manufacturing capability you need will depend on the actual successful vaccine candidate. And hopefully we'll get a handful of successful vaccine candidates, so more than one.
What's going to happen to all of the capacity that's being built right now to manufacture these vaccines? We know it's being built out for all of these vaccines effectively that are in late stage trials, and we don't know whether they're going to prove effective or not. So what happens to all that infrastructure? Can it be easily converted to perhaps contribute to the vaccine that does prove effective, or those vaccines that prove effective, or is it going to be wasted capacity?
Well, I don't know if it would necessarily be wasted capacity. I think one of the things that's being talked about now is actually doing what's called a prime boost strategy, which means you might prime with one type of vaccine and then boost with a second type of vaccine. More data needs to be gathered to sort of address that. But that might mean that you need different types of manufacturing capability in different places. Now, clearly, if you look at things like Moderna, they've got an RNA vaccine, so that's a nucleic acid. That's very different from manufacturing an adenovirus, for instance. They're different sorts of plants or manufacturing plants.